Okay, seems to be working. So hi everyone, welcome to my channel, Hisame Artwork. Today I'm going to color page 50 something, 57 from my comic book Niels Feynman's Time Traveling Adventures. It's about a little boy that travels back in time to meet his hero Isaac Newton and has a bit of fun exploring Cambridge. So he is from the future. So he's from the 24th century and he goes back in time a total of 600 years. And I have one person watching. Hi there. Welcome to my channel. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm try and make a lighter color palette. First I'm gonna turn these off. So that I can color the background. It doesn't seem to be anything there. Ink. Gonna make another layer. Grass. And I'm gonna go to the previous page. And I'm gonna choose the same colors, but lighter. So the light is kind of coming from the right side because this is the north. Up is north, if I remember correctly from looking at the Google Maps. Oh, it's open there. And close that real quick. And now it should be good. Or not. Now it will be good. Okay. I'm gonna lighten it up a bit. There we go. And I said it's gonna be reddish. The building's gonna be white with blue window. I'm gonna color this quickly. And maybe I'll increase the saturation on that later. Okay. Kind of beige. Pathway, I'm gonna call it. And I gotta close all of these. I think it's closed. Okay, let's see now if it's going to work. Yep. Worked. And on the sidewalk, it's supposed to be this color. characters. Now Marie is kind of the same color as the sidewalk, so I'm gonna have to work on that somehow, change the colors. I wanted that wheel detached, so I'm gonna have to go back and edit that. So this is panel 2. I'm gonna turn on all the panels so I can see well what I'm doing. On the ink layer here, I'm going to erase the extra lines. If it'll let me. So that's one panel down. Got the base coloring. Tree ink. Conservatory color. Conservatory ink. Oh, I forgot to close this. Ah, nobody wrote me anything. Okay. Just realized. So I didn't color it here properly. Maybe too much. Make it yellow. Should be a lot lighter. Yep, much better. Ink plants. Plants color. These I'm gonna have to split up. So fuchsia, I'm gonna put it on a separate layer and make the whole pot bigger. Fuchsia ink. Fuchsia color. I'm gonna put a mask on it so it doesn't leak out of the panel. There we go. Hi Anna, how are you? How have you been? You can hear me? Good, good. I forgot to check if my stream's working. There's so many things I gotta finish today, so kind of a bit panicking. Because I finally have sunlight outside since we have a bit of spring now, so I'm trying to do spring cleaning because it's no longer freezing outside, so I can go outside and dust everything and clean. Bit tired, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm a bit tired too. I wish I wasn't. I mean, I'm trying to go to bed early and wake up early, and maybe I'll feel less tired that way. What's the original color of the fuchsia? Original color. Fuchsia flower. I think it might be with purple. Not sure. I just love these flowers. I wish I could grow some. I miss them so much. I am a sucker for double flowers. I know they're not great for bees and things like that, but I love how they look. Yeah, for example, tulips are normally simple, but they have double um petale. How do you say in English? Mm, double flower tulips. See, so if it has more petals. Now I remember it's the same word. Petals. So you have the normal tulip, and then you have the double bloom or double petals. And I think normal fuchsias are like this, but then people bred them to have extra petals. So this would be a double petal. Well, nowadays you have double petals for just about anything, and what they do is they breed the flowers that have a genetic defect that causes them to have double petals, because it's not normal usually to have an arrangement like that. I mean, even wild roses, if you've seen how wild roses look, their flower is open. So bees can easily come in here and pollinate because it's like really open and convenient. But humans have bred roses and other plants that normally didn't have double bloom to have double bloom, like peonies. So peonies now, pretty much all peonies have double petals or multiple petals, depends on how it's called in each language. In English, I hear them often say double bloom, but wild peonies are pretty open. So this is a wild peony, this is a normal peony, and this one's engineered, if you want to call it like that, or bred or whatever, to look more like a rose, because humans tend to like this lushness more. I think you have even for poppies now. Double bloom poppies. Yep. So you see this, I doubt that this is a normal poppy. Usually poppies are pretty open, but they've changed them to look more like this, and also to last longer and be more resilient. So they're turning a lot of wild flowers into domestic flowers, and they're beautiful. I mean, I would love to have this and last for more than 2 weeks. I mean, you're lucky if you get 2 weeks out of poppies. Usually you don't get even that. I love lilies and I can't wait to see how they will turn. Yeah, those were poppies. Oh, lilies. Yeah, I love them too. I think you have double bloom lilies too. Let's see. Double bloom lilies. Yep, here they are. It looks more like an alien, really. And you can see some of the petals are fused together. It will take a while, I guess, until they establish the breed properly and you don't get any more defective misshapen flowers. These for the most part are pretty symmetrical, so that's nice. I don't know if Orientals really spend that much time on breeding flowers. I see it more of a modern Western hobby. But I would be really glad if they start doing that on an industrial scale, because then some really interesting varieties will reach us too. So here's to hoping with Chinese, because Japanese usually don't do too many weird things and they don't distribute them industrially. Yeah, like I said, they select genetically defective ones that have an interesting look. For example, Munchkin kittens, they selected the cats that have dwarfism. So they have a lot of physical illnesses associated with dwarfism. That doesn't really make their life easy, and they tend to have a shorter life expectancy because it's still a new cat breed. Because for example, you can consider a corgi as being looking like a dog with dwarfism. But from my understanding, they've managed in 1,000 years to get out the negative side effects of dwarfism. So now you just have a dog with short legs, but it doesn't have all the other issues that sometimes are associated with dwarfism. Not all dwarfs, I understand, have all of those health problems, but it seems to be more frequent in them. So a munchkin cat will have a lot of those, and will take a long time before they get all of them out. And of course it means that you have to have a breeder that understands what he does and has the best interest of the animal in mind. Not just a quick buck, but that's an ideal that isn't that common. So I hope in time it will get sorted out and be okay. Though personally I'm not too glad about breeding animals for pets. I think they should be just left alone, and I've always adopted stray animals. Even though I love how rag dolls look. I think they're such beautiful cats, but I can't help but wonder what medical issues they have because of our um, preference for this. I mean, for example, cats that have really long fluffy hair, and cats usually don't have such long fluffy hair in nature. It usually causes them, from what I understand, to have more hair balls and intestinal blockage. So kind of makes me less enthusiastic about uh, having a cat with long hair. And not just because it's gonna fill the house with hairballs. I'm just more worried about the health problems it might have. But yeah, in Stardew Valley, that game I play, where it doesn't matter, I have a ragdoll and I have a fox as a pet. So instead of a dog, I got myself a fox, and it's so pretty. I love it, and it jumps around the farm and chases the chickens, but doesn't ever hurt them because they're all pixels. And the fox and the dog is programmed to act nice to the chickens, so I never have to worry about that. Have you ever tried to grow bananas where you are, Anna? I mean, I think it might be a bit too warm or too cold for you to grow bananas. But I saw there's a YouTube channel that I follow, um, and a guy lives in California, and he grows bananas, and I thought it looked so nice, and I would love to have a fresh banana. I don't think I've ever had one. Maybe in south of Italy it's possible. Oh. You know, in a way, I'm envious of June and her warm weather, because I think, oh my god, if I had a garden in such warm weather, I would grow all of these things and it would be so awesome. And then I think, but then summers are really hot and horrible, so maybe I shouldn't wish for that. In my place, summers are hot and humid. It's awful. Sorry. Here in Michigan, I complain all year about in the winter all the time, because half a year it's winter, so I complain all that time. Oh, it's horrible. I can't live like this anymore. It's so dark. I'm depressed. Ah. And then when summer comes around and all my friends from the warmer places complain about how they're dying of the heat and how horrible it is for them, it kind of makes me think, well, it's not so bad after all. I mean, it could be worse. I could have half of the time be horrible in, it's like a quarter I'm freezing, a quarter I'm dying of heat, and either way you only have like half a year of good weather and pleasant temperatures anyway, so I can't really complain. I prefer to stand cold than hot weather. You know what? I think so too. Like, I think so too. I think I've forgotten how it is in the summer in Romania. I think I've forgotten because I remember not being able to sleep because it was so hot and so humid and gross, and I really didn't like it. But now I can't really remember that, and so I kind of miss it. The warm, the possibility to go outside much more quicker. I think I do. I mean, in Bucharest we have 45 degrees it gets sometimes in the summer. It's not that long though. Yeah. But I mean, we constantly have 35 degrees in summer in Bucharest. And because of all of the asphalt, it feels a lot more warmer than that. And we had so many people pass out in the street that at the bus stops you now have humidifying showers. Uh, nu vreau dușuri. Ce autobuz. Can't find, where was it? Where was it? Stropii toare, maybe? Oh, I can't find the picture anymore because I don't remember what they're called. I know they had them around University Square, but hi June, how are you? I wasn't able to find a picture for Anna. We have in Bucharest, because it gets so hot in the summer, they have shower stations. Nope, I can't find it, but they had them last time I was in Romania. Yeah, I'm not sure how to call them. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of a vaporized shower thingy. I mean, you're not supposed to get soaking wet, but just to cool off, because we had a lot of elderly people and sometimes young people as well that pass out. And for me, it has happened a couple of times. So, for example, a while back we didn't have air conditioning that well in supermarkets, and when you have to sit in line for a long time, in a really hot temperature, I have kind of passed out and having to sit down. Like my legs wouldn't hold my weight, and I wouldn't be able to see anymore, like it would get black. I don't know why the links aren't working. It's really weird. But yeah, something like that. And we had a couple of them in the bus stops. Sometimes Lipton iced tea would use it as advertising and would do that for people and like, hey, look, we're a good company. Lipton. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, no, I can't find them anymore. But you get the idea. HTTPS. I have no idea. Why would that be a problem? Potatoes. I love potatoes. Potatoes are my best friend. Actually, I should color this on a different layer in case I need to move anything. What fun times they must have had in the 16th and 17th and 18th century with all the vegetables coming from different parts of the world. I can't even imagine how sad the food must have been in Europe with all of these things, because right now our favorite foods um have potatoes and corn and a bunch of other foreign foods. And I'm really happy for that, and I'm glad that there's so much trade going on between countries. And I can't imagine how sad it would be without oranges and lemons and things like that. And I was just thinking about my diet every day. I mean, I eat pasta one day, I eat rice in another day, I eat potatoes in another day, and when I feel like experimenting, I'll try some chickpeas or lentils or stuff like that. I don't like that much, but I'll try and make it into a dish that I can like. And try something else. I mean, for me anyway, I've gotten, or without tomatoes in Europe, yeah. And maize. Romania as well. And when I was little, I only liked potatoes and chicken. But now that I've grown up a bit more, I like more things. I like eggplants, I like olives. Main dish for poor people. Yeah, in Romania, a lot of people eat polenta, mămăligă. It's called a traditional food. And to me, it's always funny when we have like crazy nationalists with, oh, you should only celebrate Dragobete. Valentine's is a foreign devil religion celebration. Oh, those evil Protestants, you know. You should be celebrating Dragobete because that is Romanian. But, like, guys, you're eating polenta. You eat corn. Why are you complaining about foreign celebrations? Yeah, I love eggplants too. Parmigiana. Parmigiana, let's see. Parmigiana. What is that? Sounds tasty. Ah, yeah. It's like moussaka de vinete with now it looks good, yeah. Moussaka de vinete. Yeah, this is Romanian version. Moussaka is basically stuff with minced meat inside, but it has to be in layers because if it's filled umplut, then it's inside of the plant. But if it's moussaka, it's layered. And I think they got this from Arabs because I haven't heard in, or maybe Greeks because they say moussaka too. We went to some friends and they were like, "Oh, we'll cook you some traditional Greek food, moussaka," and I'm like, "Ha ha ha! Yeah, we have that too. It's not just yours. We have it too." Yeah, eggplant lasagna. Um, but we wanted to eat that. We were like curious how is Greek moussaka, and it's the same as our moussaka, just less fatty and more healthy. I mean, I do notice that Greeks don't use that much pork meat. I mean, even if they use lamb, it's kind of a lean, skinny lamb. I mean, a lamb that they kind of neglected, haven't fed well. I don't know. Their food is a lot more healthier than Romanian food. If you eat traditional Romanian food, you're gonna get fat quickly. But at least since Romanians are kind of poor, they have to run after the bus all day to get to work. So every day you have to run after the bus, and that's how they stay skinny, more or less. I mean, to be in the US is really tough to stay skinny. Because you have nowhere to go on foot, really. I mean, now that it's warm outside and I can go outside again, I go around the building campus a bit and I try not to get run over by my neighbors that aren't paying attention to the road and they're texting and messaging all the time. I mean, here in the US, it's crazy. I don't know for other places, but here in Michigan, it's not very crowded. You know, the streets aren't that crowded. So often, what they do is text in Drive, sometimes they text and forget to um, go when the light is green. They're like sitting there and waiting. I don't know for what, but they are. And I'm sure they did that in Bucharest as well, but you quickly get uh, honked by the people behind you. Sometimes they will preemptively honk just in case you're on your phone. So, I mean, they would estimate when the green light would come, and it would be like 1 or 2 seconds before it actually comes, and they'll be like, beep beep. And I'm like, dude, it's not green yet. Where do you want me to go? So I would say that definitely in Bucharest they're very impatient about this stuff. Here, people are gonna wait and wait and wait for the other person to realize they're an idiot and they should go because it's green. What is on layer 9? Nothing. I think I can throw it to the trash. Let's see, Marie. Ink. Niels color. I'm always anxious when I hope I don't delete anything I'll need later. He's getting. Oh, you put another. Yeah, I guess it makes more sense to put it in a bag and then in his backpack. Fair enough. I just didn't think it through. I was thinking he's just dumping it in his backpack. He doesn't care about cleaning stuff. But it's a lot better how you did it. I mean, would make more sense that Marie would tell him to get a bag. Yeah, it's okay, it's okay, yeah. I think it's very good that he doesn't put it in his backpack. He would have more stuff to clean, and definitely would Marie would be like, oh, no, 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 no. Yeah, I was thinking that he just dumps everything in his backpack. But it's a lot better that you did it this way. Because I'm trying to skip a lot of the talking back and forth if it doesn't serve any plot development. Just skip over it. Get to the funny parts. Because I do feel like it's lacking a lot of action and excitement, I think maybe. Yeah. No need to explain. I just took a bag. Now I'm curious how old potatoes look like. Uh, Maybe they were a bit green. Hi Caesar, how you doing? Oh, I had these here in the US. They're really interesting. They look so cool. They taste like potatoes, but a lot more bland. They don't have a very potato-ish taste, but they look really nice in the plate. And also these guys. I just like the diversity of potatoes here and yams and other things like that. So the purple kind is really old? 'Cause I don't know. Hmm. So I should make the potatoes purple? I think Newton would be like weirded out and wouldn't know what it is. Or he would think it's beets or something. Beet. Where are beets from? North America. Okay, so that's new as well. Hmm. I'll make one of each kind. I'll make a purple potato. And I'll make an orange one. Patata. Get a color for Marie. Actually, I should make everything beige and then I'll go with white. I think so. I have no idea. Um, I think that's how they called it back then. I'm not sure. There isn't like standardized naming for these yet. So I don't think it matters that much. Also reminds me of that funny gag with you say patata, I say potato. You say patata, I say potato, and somebody would yell at the end, nobody says patata, stop it. But apparently they did, and that's how the Spanish said it. Spanish. Patata, yeah. Because they brought it first, so I suspect at this point in time they were still calling it patata. And I think I can have a reddish one. There is also batata. 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 Ah, batata is sweet potato. Okay, I didn't know that. Southern West Indies. Southern West Indies. Indies. Like Philippines? Taino Spanish. West Indies are the Caribbeans. Let me see, West Indies. Oh, how is that Indian here? Silly Europeans, they thought they got India. Ha 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 ha. They were wrong. Batata, patata. Seems like we'll make a great kids song. I love patata, I love patata. A friend of mine, she was the only one in the family who had curly hair. And like she didn't have the best father, so at one point when he was drunk, he said that her mom cheated on him. And she was like the only one in the family who had curly hair. And one day her granddad died of old age and health problems. And she met a great aunt who said, "Oh, you look like my niece. She has curly hair too." And she was like, "What? Do we have curly haired people in the family? That's awesome. I'm not the only one." And she had like this 3 times removed or 4 times removed cousin, like really distant. And she had curly hair, and then the aunt showed her some picture and told her, one of our great grandfathers might have had a colored wife or something like that, because he was traveling. He was a not a pirate, tradesman or something like that, and he went around the world. And I was thinking, wow, we had Romanians 200 years ago going around. We didn't have Romania back then. So the Romanian kingdom is 150 years old. So this guy was going around before there was a Romania. So that was funny. She found out why she had curly hair. Hi, Billy Joe. How are you doing? Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you? Because I don't know if you have your speakers on or headphones. Because I've always been curious, like how the potatoes and tomatoes got into many of the countries and how long it took for them. Because at this point, in my story, we already had potatoes for about uh, 200 years on the continent, or 150 years. Day here in British Columbia, so me and the kids are bundling up watching YouTube. Aw! Hope you have like nice temperature at least. For me here in Michigan, it's nice and warm. Let's see. Can you hear me? I have my mic on. No tablet on? Come on. You do. Yes. Yes, we can hear you, and it's around 20 degrees here. Should warm up next week. Oh, that's awesome. I hope you have good weather soon. It's been a long it's been a long winter. Not as long as in other years, so it's okay, but still I'm so ready for to go outside and have some fun. I've sat all year inside the house. Well, the year so far. From December, it's been pretty cold. Too cold to go outside. But I'm glad we didn't have any more of those horrible blizzards. First time we came here to Michigan, everybody was telling us, oh, it's horrible here, it's minus 40 degrees, it's like Kamchatka. And we're like, oh no, we're gonna die here, we're gonna freeze to death. It's gonna be the end for us. And ever since we came, we brought warm weather. We had some floods though, but otherwise it's been good. It's not been as horrible as we feared. I think the most we've gotten to was minus 25. So it was okay. It was bearable if you had a car. Because we're from Europe, so we were kind of used to going with the bicycle to work. And I remember in our first year, we wanted to go to the cinema, and we got our bicycles and we had to go on the highway because they didn't have any like little streets that we could use. And we froze our butts off, really. That was less fun. And at the cinema there was somebody else with the bicycle, and of course they were European too. Like no American is crazy or stupid enough to go in November with their bicycle anywhere. Though funny enough, my husband has a colleague that is from Germany, and rain or shine he goes with the bicycle to work, even if it's a blizzard. So my husband's a bit jealous of him. He's like, well, I want to be so fit and awesome not care. But nope, he's comfortable with warm, comfy clothing and nice temperature. So for a while he tried to go with his bicycle in winter to work like he did back home. But was unsuccessful in his endeavors. And now that we finally have some warm weather, I'm super happy. Maybe this weekend we can finally go outside again. We use a lot of public transit here, and well, simply because of the fact that parking in Vancouver is really expensive. Yeah, We're in a village, so uh, we tried public transportation in the beginning. We wanted to go next time. We wanted to go with a taxi to the cinema because we didn't have a car then. And we waited for the taxi an hour, at which point we missed the film. So the guys call us and, oh, do you still want the taxi? After I've been calling them and trying to reach them and to tell them, hey, where are you? You need to hurry up because we need to catch the film. And so after it was too late, they call us and I'm like, oh, do you still need the taxi? An hour later, I'm like, no, I don't need the taxi. You're useless. Because I think they have like only 1 or 2 taxi companies where we are. It's definitely different village life here to Romania. I mean, in Romania you don't get taxis in a village either, but you can like go with your bicycle pretty much anywhere. And you don't have any cinemas around. That's for sure. So that problem is solved. Yeah. The best place to live, I would say, is in a village near a big city. And to have public transportation. Here we're like an hour away from a big city. Well, a city, I wouldn't call it big. It is the capital of Michigan, but it's very small by my standards. I assume Vancouver is pretty big. I've never been there, but I looked at the numbers, and as far as I remember, it's a pretty big city. Certainly the prices are huge. I keep hearing horror stories about the prices in Vancouver. Oh, very little housing. I'm surprised they keep building houses. I wonder where all of the houses are gonna go to. We are very lucky we purchased our home 10 years ago. Now for any house it's over 1 million. What? Crazy. 1 million. 1 million. Oh my God. Yeah, June, you gotta sit down, not have a heart attack. But you know, she's not lying. I mean, even here in Michigan, you can have houses that are 1 million. Depends where you are, and the taxes also are pretty high, and the houses can get to 1 million. Now, these are American houses, though. Bid up. Wow. Crazy. Do they want another housing bubble? Like, is that it? Yeah, Yeah, it is crazy. I was just looking last night at a film, The Big Short. Here our house is worth even more, but not the standard house. Yeah. I mean, these are upper middle class houses. Because if you want a crappy house, it's can be 600 here in Michigan. I mean, for New York and California, yeah, it can get you crazy prices like this. We are hoping the market will crash like it did in Australia. Why would you be hoping for that? Like, isn't it going to have the same nasty side effects as unemployment and homelessness? Even more than jacking up the price. And then you're gonna have a lot of empty houses, or how does it work for you guys? Because usually these are intertwined, so if the housing market crashes again, then you'll probably have the same issues that the Americans had last time. And whenever there's high unemployment, you get higher crime rates and other issues. This is what happened. The government allowed people out of country to buy houses and let them sit empty. So instead of there being a lot of options, there are people out of country letting those houses sit empty and have a huge shortage, so the market went really high. How would you know they're out of country? Because a lot of the companies are, let's say, Canadian or American, but they're registered in Panama or something like that, so they seem like they're out of country, but actually they're just North Americans. How would you know they're out of country, and why would that matter? Because if it's as simple as that, they can just, oh, you know, we forbid foreign people from buying houses, and that'll fix the problem. But I don't see how it would go that way. Judu saying foreigner buyers had a huge tax break on houses to attract more people. And that tax break is still available now, so North Americans can pretend they're foreigners and get that tax break. To make a bunch of marks as old tourism and stuff. Yeah, we have that in Romania as well. A lot of Israeli people and Arabs have bought housing in Romania, and they've renovated and done a great thing with the place as far as I can tell. I mean, I'm sure a lot of them are pretty upset because we had a lot of people that ran away during communism. So a lot of historical buildings have been left in ruin. Nobody taking care of them. The owners and the descendants of the owners no longer being in the country were reachable. So the government kind of nationalized those again, and sold it to anybody who'd be willing to invest in them. And they've done some really nice stuff. The old town looks really nice, and nobody's really been complaining too much about it. But they were like kind of suing each other who gets the building, and sometimes there would be like Israelis suing other Israelis for the same monument. It was funny for me, kind of eavesdropping on this, because I worked for a company that was the owners were Israeli, and so they had a lot of businesses. Like the guy would brag to me, we have 30 businesses. It was like really Trumpian in his way he talked. But he also was in the housing market, and he would come and tell me about what buildings he's trying to buy. And they were on the main street in some places, and it looks really nice. I don't know who owns those buildings. I don't know if he actually owns any of them or owned any of them, but I'm so glad that they renovated them, because it was full of rats and dogs and stuff like that. Hopefully we'll not get a bubble like you guys. Although we were affected in 2008 by the bubble. I think Americans bought as well. I don't know if Americans are really interested in housing in Romania, or Germans. I haven't heard of any of them that much. Oh, China's been really good at the whole PR thing. They build a lot of bridges in African countries. Of course, there are complaints about them being crappy Chinese bridges that fall. Hope not too many people got hurt, but I think it's really great that they're getting involved, and they're getting involved much more than the Europeans in that reconstruction. So it's pretty good PR for them, and they're kind of really taking advantage of Americans and Europeans being less involved in this stuff. For example, in Puerto Rico or some other Caribbean country, they built and gave as a gift, I mean, I don't know how true that is, they gave as a gift a police station to or a high school to that island, and they're teaching Chinese in a high school there. Have a nice afternoon. Take care. So I think we're gonna have to start learning Chinese soon. It's gonna be the new English. I should make these maybe black and write with white. I'll do it later. Fill in this here. I think I went too pale with the grass. Some bushes here. I'm tempted to put some more flowers everywhere, but I think I'm gonna make the comic look too girly. I don't know. But if I'm not gonna put flowers here, where am I gonna get the chance to put them? Niels color. think this arm is a bit too big. Not sure. Maybe these fingers all shrink them a bit. Putting strawberries and potatoes in the same bag doesn't seem like a great idea. Like, I bet you these are gonna get squished soon. Out of all the potatoes, the red one is my favorite. I don't know, it just makes for creamier puree and other things that I cook. Though I think the fried ones are golden potatoes. So I buy often the Oraida potato. And go I just love them. Back home, the best fries you can get at McDonald's. Here I haven't tried because I went to KFC and the food was so horrible that I never tried any other American fast food franchise. But I have bought a lot of fried food, of junk food from the supermarket, and Oraida is my favorite. Good night, Anna. I'm gonna end the stream soon in 5 minutes as well, so sleep tight and sweet dreams. So I'm gonna end the stream here as well. June, I have to give you the sketches for the next pages. I haven't had time to do them, but I will, and I'll do it tonight. I promise. So I don't forget anymore, and I don't delay it. So you have enough time to do the line art. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and see you next time. Bye bye everyone.